Hi. Okay, so today we're going to go over this paragraph, the River Otter. Okay, so before we start, write your name right here with your pencil. See where it says Name, name. Write your name right here. Okay, go ahead. Okay, and as you're writing your name here, I want to remind you that anytime I'm going too quickly in this video, just pause it as many times as you need. Pause. Okay, so this is called the River Otter. And it says learning target. What are you learning? Here's your answer. Can you repeat after me? I am learning to read paragraphs. Now I'm going to read the whole thing and you're going to repeat. I am learning to read paragraphs. Repeat. Great job. My next question is, why are you learning it? I'm going to read the answer. You're going to repeat. Repeat after me. I will need to read paragraphs for college. Now I'm going to say the whole thing and you're going to repeat after me. I will need to read paragraphs for college. Repeat. Great. Okay. Last question. How do you know that you've learned it? I'm going to read it in 3 parts and you're going to repeat. Okay. First part. I will be able, repeat, to read fluently, repeat, and understand what I read. Repeat. Now, I'm going to say it again in 2 parts and you're going to repeat. So here I go. First part. I will be able to read fluently. Repeat. Okay, next part. And understand what I read. Repeat. Great. Now I'm going to read the whole thing together and you're going to repeat the whole thing. Here I go. I will be able to read fluently and understand what I read. Repeat, please. Great. And here's your standard. RF, can you repeat after me? RF 1.4a. Okay. Read grade level text. Repeat. With purpose and understanding. Repeat. Good. So all that means is you're going to be able to read this paragraph and understand what it's about, okay? So our first question is circle what they are doing at the beginning of the story. So I'm going to read it and then we're going to circle what they do at the beginning. Here we go. You repeat after me, okay? Clark and I go fish in the cold river. Repeat. Okay, my turn. We see an otter swimming under the water in the deeper part of the river. Repeat. Okay, my turn. Here I go. It twirls and swirls in the water. Your turn. Repeat. Great job. My turn. It has thick fur and a big tail. Repeat. Great. My turn. Here I go. The otter gets closer and floats on its back. Repeat. Great job. Okay, my turn. Here I go. The otter forces a shellfish open with a rock to get its dinner. Repeat. Great job. My turn. After that, the otter climbs up on shore, curls up into a ball, and takes a nap. Repeat. Great job. My turn. I turn to Clark. Repeat. My turn. Here I go. I sort of want a pet otter, I tell him. Your turn. Repeat. He shakes his head. Repeat. Okay, now it's my turn. Otters are wild and are not meant to be pets, Clark says sharply. Your turn. Repeat. Great job. Okay, so what are they doing at the beginning of the story? Right here it says, Clark and I go fish in the cold river. So let's underline that. Pen. I wonder why these colors. Okay, let's underline that. Clark and I go fish in the river. You underline with your pencil, okay? I don't have a pencil. I'm using the computer. Okay, let's read the next question. How do you know that this is told in the first person? First person means that the person in the story is telling the story. Because he says we, right? He says we, and he says I. I tell him. I tell him. Right? I want a pet. So whenever he says we or I, that means that person is in the story. Okay. Next question. Underline what the otter eats. Okay, so find out what the otter eats. Look in the paragraph and see if you can find out what the otter eats. Okay, well, right here it says the otter forces a shellfish open with a rock to get its dinner. So, what does the otter eat? Yeah, the shellfish. So, let's underline it. Okay, last question. Can you guess that? A. The narrator likes the otter. They will get a pet otter. Clark does not like the otter. Well, let me move this here so we can see it. Okay. The narrator likes the otter. They will get a pet otter. They catch a fish. Or Clark does not like the otter. Okay. I think you can guess that the narrator, right, likes the otter because he says, I sort of want a pet otter, I tell him. So we know that the narrator likes the otter. It says Clark does not like the otter. It doesn't tell us that. There's no place that says that Clark doesn't like the otter. It says they will get a pet otter. I don't know because Clark says otters are wild and are not meant to be pets. And it doesn't say if they catch a fish. So I think it's this one. The narrator likes the otter. Okay, I think you're done. Great job. Let's stop the video.